Hi everyone, it's Leslie with PrayNite for today's astrology and tarot card lesson. I thought I would combine both a symbol in tarot as well as a symbol in astrology. And today I want to talk about Mars and the Tower card and how they're both related. So let's start with Mars. First of all, Mars is the planet of action, of doing. When you say Mars in astrology, the first thing that should come to mind for you is the sign of Aries. Aries is a fire sign. It is the get up and go. It is anyone who has strong Aries in their chart, you will know it as soon as you meet them. They are going to be very personable, different than a Leo. They're both fire signs, but Aries is going to be adventurous and want to do things. It's all about action. Aries folks can't sit still. They're just always on the go. If you can think of any Aries that you know that has strong Aries in their chart, you're going to find that with them. They can also have a temper. Mars, they're ruled by Mars. Mars is the sign of war, the sign of temper, aggression, anything with that forward masculine energy. That's when you're going to find Mars. And in the tarot, Mars is represented by the Tower card. So today I thought I would show you a few depictions of the Tower card in different decks. And so you can see how each artist has displayed the Tower card. But before I show you the card, I want to talk a little bit about the Tower card. Because when I'm doing my tarot card readings, and the Tower card shows up, a lot of people look at the artwork and think, oh, my whole world is going to collapse, or it's all going to come crumbling down, because the Tower card, the way it's depicted, especially in the Rider-Waite, it's like lightning hitting a building and the building flying open and people falling out of the building. And, the first thing you think of is, oh my God, what am I going to do? Let me tell you something about the Tower card. Think about it as, I've talked about the Death card being transformation. But sometimes to go through transformation in your life, you have to experience change. That's what the Tower card really represents, is change. It's change in our life. It's the one thing that we can expect in life is change. And the more resistant you are in change, the harder it's going to be for you to go through these transformative moments, and they will be more painful. So the Tower card showing up is all about things are going to shake up in your life, and sometimes those shakeups are unexpected. And I think when you look at the Tower card in different decks, you can see how that's going to affect your life. It's a good card to have. And again, during a reading, you want to look at all the cards that surround it. I myself use a lot of intuition when I'm guided by the Tower card to see where it will affect you in your life. So today, I'm pulling from 3 decks, and I'll show you each depiction and sort of help you to open up your intuitive self by looking at the artwork. I think tarot is a great way for you to really, when you get centered, to look at the artwork and feel what that card means to you. And when you're doing your own readings or trying to explore tarot on your own, it's really all about what that change means in your life. And believe it or not, you can feel it coming. You sense it. You may not be consciously aware of it, but you do sense it. We all sense when things are about to change in our life. And it's how we handle that. Do we go head on, like Mars, like Aries would be like, okay, I'm ready, let's go, let's try this new adventure? Or are we going to kind of drag our feet and say, I don't really want the change, I want the steadiness? So the Tower card is to show you where that change is going to show up. All right, so the first deck that I'm pulling the Tower card from is the Anna K Tarot deck. I use this deck quite a bit because it's very easy for the person that I'm reading to interpret on their own. I really like to bring out the intuition in the person that I'm reading and help them bring out their own intuitive guides. It's so important for you to be in touch with your feelings because it is naturally your compass that's going to take you on your journey in life. So knowing how to tap into it, and I feel these images in the Anna K Tarot deck are easy enough for people to tap into it because you can see the situation that's going on and you can sort of feel where it resonates for you. So the first deck is the Anna K Tarot deck. You can see the card there. And it is pretty scary. I mean, if you look at it, the building's on fire and it's collapsing. And you get this card in a reading. I mean, you look at it alone and you go, oh my God, you know, we're going to have an earthquake. Now, I have to tell you a funny story. I was doing a reading for a friend of mine, and this friend was not with me in the room, but was traveling. And I decided to do a reading for them. And I pulled this card, and not in this particular deck, but I pulled the Tower card. And right away, I knew the change that was going to take place was literally that lightning was going to hit something. There was going to be some shakeup in a building, just as depicted in the Tower, which it very rarely shows up like that. Come to find out that person I was doing the reading from was in an airport, and lightning hit the airport and knocked the power out. So I thought that was pretty funny, how the Tower card literally showed up as, you know, lightning hitting a building. So it can once in a while, and again, I've only had that happen to me once, but it is pretty funny that it can show up in that respect as well. But the other thing I want to have you notice, and it's hard to see in the camera, but it's colorful. I think the reason why there's a lot of color in this is because anytime you experience change, right, there's a lot of different aspects, and change is good, and change is scary, and change has a lot of different emotions that come with it. And I think in the artwork in these decks shows all the different things that come up for you when change is going to take place in your life. The question that just popped up in my head that you might be asking, because I just got it in my mind, is why then is Mars associated with the Tower card, since Mars is of action and Tower is of change? Well, the reason is because Mars, when you have a strong Mars, right, you want to do something. Change is actually, sometimes you have to make the change. You have to be open to it, to move forward in your life, to accept the change that's going on in your life. So they're tied together in that respect, because we could sit back all day long and just keep going on with our lives doing the same thing. There are always going to be changes in whatever that same thing is, but it's harder to deal with if you're not open to accepting it and, you know, moving forward in the way that you need to adapt to the change in your environment. So just because you keep the same job, or you have the same family, or you have the same husband for 40 years, you're going to have change in your relationship. You're going to have change in your job, in your career, even if it's the same career or the same relationship. But it's how you bend with the unexpected things that happen in a relationship, in a work situation. For example, something could happen to your partner. They could get ill, or they change their jobs, or something happens. You're still married to them, but now you have to adjust with the situation. So you have to be open to it, to accepting that change. So hopefully that helps you. Now I want to show the Marielle Tarot deck. Love this deck, beautiful artwork. And if you see my videos, you know I love artwork. I love anything, mostly modern artwork, but I love the way the tower is depicted here. Let's see if you can see that. And the colors aren't showing up that well here, but I mean, it's a dramatic red. It's a dramatic gray and blue, and you know, you can't really see the person, but you can see that something's happening in their life. Now, when I look at this tower card and this tower card, you can see that in the Marielle Tarot deck, you can see it's just one person here, and the change is happening to them. In this particular card, it's the whole building. So there's a structure changing in this person's life, but something's changing within the person themselves in this card. If I had to read these cards totally on their own, I would read them totally different, because this one here, something is transforming within that person. Something is transforming within the structure of the life of this person. You see that? The third and final card I want to show is the Tower card from, what deck is this? Jabberdi's Tarot deck. And this is another colorful card. And it's sort of hard to see here. The building is in the background here. But lots of color, lots of activity. It's almost, you see a car down here. You know, just things are just shaken up. But it's not as explosive as this card is. It is in its own respect. I would look at this card as an emotional transformation for this particular person. If I just pulled this card, I would say something's going on internally with this person. Mixed emotions in their life. Lots of things going on, maybe out of their control, that they're trying to figure out emotionally from within. So as you can see, and I'll hold the three up, three different cards, if I could do this right. And you can see them all, how different that they're depicted. And hopefully you can see and tap into what each one makes you feel when you look at that particular card. The other thing I want to mention is a book that's very helpful when you're you're interested in astrology at all and interested in tarot, like I am, how they connect. And I find this book is pretty helpful. I think I mentioned it in one of my other videos, but I couldn't find it. Well, I found it. And it's called Tarot and Astrology. And I've also put links to this book and these three decks on my, I'll put the links below, but it's on my website directly to Amazon that you can purchase. But very helpful when you're thinking about how they tie together, because if you have interest in astrology as well as tarot, there are some similarities, and you can sort of use that as you are on your journey trying to access your intuition and understand your deeper self, because I really think that both tarot and astrology are so good with helping gain self-awareness. Within yourself, knowing your birth chart, understanding where the planets are in your own chart, and what those planets represent helps you. Because when you're dealing with other people or dealing with problems, I know myself, I can laugh at myself saying, oh, that's just from my chart, and it's just part of me. Understanding that makes it easier for me to look within versus blaming another person for something I may disagree with or whatever happens. I always bring it inward, because the first thing I think of is it's my perspective on life. It's how I'm viewing life. And understanding where your Mars is in your chart, where your get up and go is, where your fight is in life. What are you trying to fight for in life? Where does that fall? What house does that fall in? What planet is that in? Sign, I should say sign. And then looking at the tarot cards, you know, where you need to take action, where there is possible change, or what you need to do to change your life. You know, sometimes you have to take action and make change and make things happen. So I hope this was helpful to you. I want to try to do some more of these type of videos where I can explore with you the different cards in tarot, combine it with astrology whenever I can. And remember, I'll put all the links below to everything that I've shown here in the video. Please, if you want to get a personalized reading from me, you can just go right to my website. And thank you again for watching, subscribing, and liking my YouTube videos. Please subscribe and follow me on Facebook at PrayNite. And I hope you have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.